hey, your kid's going to end up calling somebody else daddy if you don't learn how to do
this shit now. Like,
right. So
pay yourself first, right?
Yeah.
All right. Right.
Papa!
Yes.
Come on! Come on!
Okay.
Have you read the book, or even listened to the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Before we do our next call, I want you to read that. You ain't gotta read it. You can go to YouTube and listen to it. It's only like, if you listen to it on YouTube, it's only like 2 or 3 hours at the most. So you can just listen to it throughout the day. If people don't want their kids calling someone else daddy, they should probably learn the stuff that the dude teaches in his book. The dude that wrote the book is Robert Kiyosaki. In 1943, the government passed a law that employees had to pay taxes before they got paid. So that's when, like, you know, people start seeing, when you get your paycheck, you know, you see the federal, the state, you know what I'm saying? That's when, so that, I think that happened in 1943. That being said, like, even more, the more you worked, the more they took. That's when people try to like be more like self-employed or like specialists. But in 1846 or 1986, my bad, the self-employed had to start paying taxes. And I think they actually ended up having to pay the most. That book is like the first book that really got me thinking of like how I made my money and how anybody could become rich. But he teaches the system, it's called the cash flow quadrant. There's two sides of the like to business. And it's like, he's like, there's the poor side and there's the rich side. The poor side, the left side, is like there's the E and then there's the S, which is for employee, and then self-employed. The first quadrant is the E, which stands for employee. So most people start out there. Like most people grow up having a job or getting a job. And but the thing is, they never leave that stage of the quadrant. You know what I mean? They always just have a job. And like, you know, usually their core, and you say you can tell the difference between them by their core values, which most parents like teach their kids, you know, go to school so you can get a safe and secure job with benefits. Like almost every parent teaches their kids that, which you pretty much setting them up to work for somebody else the rest of their life, in my opinion. But some of those people will go out and become self-employed. So they'll probably go to that job, learn a skill, and then, you know, start doing that skill for themselves, which leads them to the next quadrant, which is the S. The S, you know, they're usually people like, well, if you want it done right, you know, I got to do it myself. So they're usually like a person that works for themselves, you know, a solo operator, doesn't really have a team, but just has like a skill that they use to make money. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But then the right side, which would go to the rich side, there's the B and the I. And the B which is for like business owners. So like they really look for people, they're a little bit different from the self-employed because they're looking for like a good system to implement, you know, a good network of people and smart people to actually run their business for them. You know what I mean? And so they have people work hard for them. And then the fourth quadrant, which is an investor, is pretty much you have your money working hard for you. And like most people think they're investing when they like put into like stocks or 401k, but really they're just giving their money to another company. They're like they're not an investor, they're investing, but it's not really like an investor like that. You know what I'm saying? So like it just makes more sense to work hard to build a business that you own, that you can pass down to your family and build generational wealth, versus working super hard, you know, never owning it, like a job and a source of income that you can't pass down to your family, and that you could be fired from that job at any time, which a lot of people have, you know, in this current climate. You know what I'm saying? They've seen that when the pandemic hit, like a lot of people lost their jobs. So what you pretty much saying, like to become financially free, you must move through the quadrants and get to the business and investor stages as soon as possible. You know, like I said, most people will never leave that E stage. They just stay as an employee, you know. But like I said, the harder and more you work at your job, the more money the government takes in taxes. So even if you're self-employed, you know, without the correct system in place, when you stop working, the money stops coming. You know, both of these options leave you working harder for the rest of your life. You know, but like I said, a business owner and an investor gives you the opportunity to build a passive income, which ideally you may have to work hard for a few years or you know what I'm saying. But once that system's in place, the income keeps flowing the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's dope.
So that's where I really want you to listen to that book, and really just think about that, man, for our next call, because like that really is just a big mindset shift that I had that really set me on the path that I am. And like, because in the book he talks about his rich dad versus poor dad, which his rich dad or his poor dad was his actual dad. Yeah. But his rich dad was like his friend's dad. Oh. No, he just his friend's dad. His friend's dad was an entrepreneur and business owner.
So it's like a dad.
It's not really. I don't think he really calls him dad in real life, but he's saying he learned how to be an entrepreneur from this dude.
From that father, yo.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, your kid's gonna end up calling somebody else daddy if you don't learn how to do
this shit now. Like,
right. So,
hey, if you're a small business owner struggling to get more customers for your business, go to wealthydelivery.com and check out this short video on the strategy I use in my business and my clients' businesses to grow profits while saving a ton of time in the process, which allows me to do more things like hang out with my son. That's www.wealthydelivery.com, or just click the link around this video. Later.